Hello, this is Tom Kyle. This is Monday, the 12th of July, 2021, the day after England just lost the European Cup finals. Right, so there used to be this website, there is this website called Hoaxtead Research.wordpress.com/contact US / right, that's the page I'm on now. And I never wanted to really have anything to do with this because a lot of people say to me, what's your thoughts about Hoaxtead or Hampstead? And they keep going on about it. And I kept getting added to this group called Hampstead or Hampstead Research again and again and again. Not Hoaxtead, it was Hampstead Research or just Hampstead, the Hampstead group or something. And I kept taking myself out of the group again and again and again and kept getting put back in it. And it was very, very similar to like one of these Madeleine McCann groups that they're just obsessed with talking about things like I believe the dogs, just the same with them. This Hoaxtead thing, it's like I believe the children. It's like, look, the whole thing is full of COINTELPROs. Just stay away from it. Yeah, at some stage in a few years, you'll probably find out. You'll learn to your detriment that it was a complete waste of time. It happened around the same time or concurrently with Pizzagate. Now, Pizzagate was a more extreme example because it would appear quite clear that the people involved with it were trying to make you think that they were Satanists, whereas so far as I know, in Hoaxtead, it was only the people actually making accusations that where you could actually find any, kind of evidence as per witness statements. If we'll just call them that for the sake of they're not proper witness statements. I'm not sure because I think maybe they spoke to the police and were they the same. These videos of some children saying that they've been abused and all these preposterous off the wall manners which clearly hadn't happened. But anyway, right, this is the thing. They are still putting up articles, but on this contact us page it's saying you can reach us at Hampstead Hoax Investigators at yahoo.com, right? However, right, they are still putting up articles like every week and stuff like that right now. So I sent them a message the other day, and then this came back, right? And that was Sunday the 4th, and I wrote to them on Sunday the 4th. So this was a bounce back message. Sunday the 4th of July 2021, that is. Okay, so if anyone can explain how to get hold of these people, then I'll be very interested. Now, the reason for this is because my interest in them was because I didn't particularly have any interest in this, as I must explain. And I thought at some stage in the future I'll probably look at it, but because I knew it was full of COINTELPRO people, so you're never ever going to get, there's going to be so much information thrown at you. It's all going to be completely wrong or extremely misleading. Then, just don't waste your time. It's a complete waste of time. Anyway, so Belinda Mackenzie was heavily involved. Also somebody called Belinda Mackenzie, Sabine McNeil. Now, we are led to believe she's been sent to prison over this for malicious communications or something. And I suppose maybe other things like incitement and stuff. But you see, the thing is, she was allegedly warned by the police a lot of times, and these Hoaxtead people have, if we believe them, put up the judges summing up and, the process of how she repeatedly broke court orders. Belinda Mackenzie obviously always breaks court orders, but she didn't go to prison. But Sabine McNeil and Belinda Mackenzie are famous for breaking court orders, feeding people information. They'll have the information up there for months. Then the other person will copy it. And then, from what I'm told, they'll end up in prison. This is what I've believed for a long time. As I said, this is their agenda. They set people up. So I don't really know who they're working for. Obviously, we presume it's the government. It's part of the counterintelligence program. To try and find a legitimate thing, put a load of COINTELPRO on top of it, and then nobody actually looks at something of actual validity. And then, for instance, if you find a situation where it does look like there are people who are, they're actually claiming to worship Satan, then people are just scared that they're going to go to prison, whereas these people are just basing it on some cranks who've got their children to say things, which is, by the way, abuse. If you're getting your children to make up stories and publish it all over the place, technically under the law it's actually abuse in England, because they'd say you're kind of identifying yourself. Jack Straw changed the law over this, obviously for bad reasons, with it being Jack Straw. But the idea is, it's a crime to expose your involvement in a sexual abuse case because you are one of the protected parties, but therefore, so you can't actually complain about things. This was a big hoo-ha was made of this some time back, but if you get your children to start talking about all sorts of sexual abuse that's happened to them and all of these other children, that's a crime in itself. So what I would like to do is explain to you, these Hampstead Hoax Investigator people at yahoo.com, that message bounced back. But what I want to get hold of, right, is the actual source, whether that be the actual, the kind of PDFs or something produced by the court. I want to get hold of these, the summing up of the judge and any other details of the case that's available. Some of it probably won't be available, but it doesn't really matter, because of course it's very likely, and we've seen it lots of times before, and I've reported it before, that lots of these cases are completely fake and they're completely contrived right from day one. So there might not even be any victims. I'm not saying there aren't any victims, but it's totally possible, because I've not looked at them and I don't want to find them. I don't want to contact them and bother them if they are victims, because these people are complete cranks. But I would like to have the source of their articles about what happened to Sabine McNeil, blah, blah, blah. If anyone can give me any advice about how to get hold of this, then that would be a big help to me. And there's quite a lot of things hinge on this. And one of the reasons I haven't been able to do videos, or especially not detailed videos, for a long time, is because of the uncertainty about various things and me waiting on information about things. And as you'll know from my previous videos, I always knew what I was talking about. I very occasionally accidentally made one or two very minor mistakes, which really were inconsequential mistakes, but they weren't to the core of the subject matter at hand. They had no bearing, you see. So like I'll give you a good example. I was making a video and I was actually asking questions on it, and I was saying that I was asking this thing about Peaches Geldof. Why would all of a sudden she get bumped off? What's the chance of her actually dying of a heroin addict? She doesn't overdose. She doesn't even look like a heroin addict. And I assumed that she lived in New York or somewhere. I don't know why I thought that. But I don't really care about celebrities anyway. But I'm not saying that in a nasty way. But the point was, I live in Kent. Yeah, that's where I'm from. And she lives in Kent as well. And I didn't even. I think she lives in Kent anyway. Anyway, I could be getting mixed up. But the whole point is, so you get that wrong. Or that SAS guy who's always really, really fat. And a lot of people say he's not in the SAS. Look how fat he is. And he's always going on about immigrants and how blah, blah, blah. He's just trying to say there's all these horrible Muslims everywhere. He's just one of these scumbags. And when you look at him, you think he's never been in the SAS. He's just a big, fat, horrible lard ass. He's kind of lowering himself to get into this kind of stuff. He's like a sort of fat version of Tommy, the fucking COINTELPRO MI5 agent Robinson, isn't he? And that's not even his real name. He's had several aliases, but all his stupid fans don't even think that's suspicious. But anyway, so focus at the matter on hand. Probably they've just forgotten to change their site. They've never really tried to help me in the past. They would just say that I'm like a gay, homophobic, Jew-hating Jew or something, or anti-Semitic Jew-hater or Jew-hating Jew. It's kind of nonsense that these people come out with. The people who do this Hoaxtead research, they're not actually good intentioned. They just love getting into internet nonsense. So, as I said, I'd suspect they're probably on some kind of payroll anyway, because the amount of time they've got on their hands. It could just be a bit of a hobby that got out of hand. We've all been involved with hobbies that get out of hand. Like lots of grown men get hobbies that get out of hand involving train sets and stuff, It's just what happens. I'm not really saying this is a pejorative statement. I'm just saying that that's what can actually happen. Anyway, so my name's Tom Carhill, and it's Monday, the 12th of July, 2021. And if you can help me with this, it will actually progress things and create more interesting stories, and it will have more answers to more questions, which will be able to produce more videos. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.